He's now building trailers, has for many years now. He has 3 manufacturing facilities, and he also owns all the dealers. Sells small trailers for hauling motorcycles and jet skis and all the, toy trailers, I guess you call them. Has factories in Boise and Kingman and Conway, Arkansas. But he's the guy that also did the firmware for us for our oil well tool in a half a day.
Oh my gosh! And he is running these trailer making companies, but he still has the software.
I called him. I said, I need somebody. I had contracted with Rich Wayman to do it. It wasn't going to work. He spent a lot of time, a lot of money, all of ours. So I just called Michael and I said, Mike, he's now changed his name to Snow. But his wife changed his wife's name was Snopkowski, last name. She never changed it, or did Jennifer, her sister. And so they changed their name to Snow. So he changed his name to Snow. About 15 years ago. But anyway, he said, well, I've got to be in Nashville because I got a new dealer that I'm buying. He said, so I'll come over after that and take a look at it. Well, and he recommended a couple of processors, and then we bought just the standard off-the-shelf hobbyist Arduino boards, and that's what we use. But he programmed the whole thing, sitting there in the office in about a half a day.
It's incredible. I don't know how much you can talk about the oil well tool, but you did just mention it. But I'm curious, how in the heck did you go from telecom to that product?
Oh, it's a simple story, really. One of the first things we did is Olson was a would-be Catel customer. Was somebody that had been talking to Jerry Lindholm, was in the water well business and wanted to build a camera that went down 10,000 feet over this lossy cable. And he got shuckled out of that business about the same time I left Catel. And so he tried to find me, and Jerry put him in touch with me. Seth designed this, all the mechanical parts for this tube, and it was only like 2 inches in diameter. And we did this camera system where we were able to go 10,000 feet with live, full motion, color video. And, this cable is really, 10 megahertz. It's really lossy. But we managed to do it. So we built these 2 camera systems for this guy. His name is Joel Barber. Lived in Camarillo. He used these things in his water well business, wireline business. Made a lot of money with 2 cameras. Made a lot of money. He came to us later on, and he wanted to, he's going to start selling these things, and on and on and on. But Joel, you could never get past, making money by himself. And he really never had any interest in selling anything. He didn't know how. He knew how to sell services. He didn't know how to sell electronics. So anything we ever did, so we just sort of mutually parted ways and stayed in touch. And then he came along, I think it was probably 2011, maybe? Yeah, 2011. And we were on our way back from Tennessee to here, and he said, well, stop by. We're living in Vegas now. I want to show you something that I'm trying to get done, but he said, I just can't get past he had some guys messing with it. But basically, it was a similar tool to what we did. A few different concepts, but nothing totally different. but he needed some help. So Sue and I went over, spent a week, and basically packaged that whole pile of stuff into a 3.5-inch tube so they could stick it in a well. But they got real secretive, but then he gave us a job to do 2 tools, which we did. But it never got past that. Never got past that. They didn't work very well. I had some lousy power supplies in there. Told him I'd fix them, and he said, "Nah, don't bother." He got mad. So we just left it at that. But at the same time, the Russians had licensed a public company here in the States called Propel. And I just made a chance call to the guy that was listed. They were starting to publicize some of it here. I said, "Hey, do you need any electronic design?" He said, "Well, we're looking for some. I'll call you back." So I just took some photos of what I had, sent it to him, said, "We know how to do this." 5 minutes later, we were on our way to Vegas because that's where he was living at the time. Literally. He said, "I got to meet you." And that's how we met and got to do the initial business with these guys. They had licensed the Russian technology with very little research. The Russian technology was highly unreliable, too big in diameter for most U.S. wells, and they were on the hook to pay these guys a lot of money every year. So he really needed something that worked, and that's what we did for him. It wasn't easy. There's a lot of material issues, a lot of custom component issues, a lot of things you don't think about. And it's one of those technologies that, as I say, builds character. You have to be extremely careful because it's dangerous as hell. But, we've got a tool now that can go 4,000 consecutive shots. And that's basically probably the future of this business, if there is an answer.